a friend and I, we were going to go meet a group of others. On our way in, we were confronted by a man who was wearing a oversized cowboy hat with a Confederate flag print on it.
Had said multiple times yesterday that when they were holding him down, calling for a noose, threatening to harm him, he truly thought that they were trying to kill him.
Yeah.
As someone who was an outsider, kind of able to see all the moving parts of this, did you also think that it was a possibility that Vaughx might not make it?
Yes. When they called him, you can leave the boy here. You guys can go, but you can leave the boy here. So the white people could go, but they wanted us to leave him there and to do what they wanted to with him. I don't think anybody could do that in good conscience. I'm not a fighter, so I'm like, but I wasn't going to leave. But it was scary. I mean, probably the scariest thing I've ever seen.
Opinion, if you all, the other people that were there as well as yourself that had their phones out there with Vaughx, if you were not there, do you think the situation would have ended differently?
I think it would have ended very differently. I also feel if it was me or any one of our other campers, that wouldn't have happened. That's just my personal feeling of the situation. I do think because of the color of Vauxx's skin that this happened to him.
It's deplorable that any person would be targeted because of their race. It is equally deplorable that someone would use their race to promote and arouse public passion over a false accusation. They don't want to be here. They thought a quick and thorough investigation would reveal the truth, and it would be fairly reported, and they wouldn't have to do this. But it's affecting their lives. The truth has not come out. Mr. Booker continues to be on TV, and the false narrative continues to be said and perpetuated. Apologize to these people, and apologize to the real victims of racial injustice and racism, because you diminish them when it didn't happen, but you use your race to create what he has created. He was the instigator and the agitator, and he ended up against the tree. No talk of a noose, no talk of a rope, no talk of a lynching, no white power, and you don't have all the video, okay? Mr. Booker says he survived this near lynching, yet he stays to videotape people as he race baits them, Whitey. And then he gets one of them to say some racially insensitive stuff.
Tensions now mount in Bloomington, Indiana, after a black man said a group of white men allegedly threatened to get a noose. Videos of the incident have gone viral, and it is difficult to watch.
The gentleman yells to his friend to get a noose. I thought these individuals were literally going to lynch me. I'm struggling to breathe. I can feel the weight of these gentlemen on top of me.
Booker says what saved him was that his friends and bystanders refused to leave.
So many images passed through my mind of George Floyd, of the countless black people we've seen be killed in horrible ways. And I think to myself, am I going to be them?
And David, there was a protest supporting Vaughx Booker last night that turned violent after a car drove into the crowd of demonstrators. Two of those demonstrators were injured.
As always, Mr. Mayor, thank you very much for having us today.
Joe, it's nice to be with you and with anybody else connecting live. Good to see you.
So just about a week ago, you condemned 3 racially motivated incidents, and you said each of us must do our part to assure justice for those harmed. Let's just start with what kind of came out yesterday, and that's the attorneys for the white men who are accused of attacking Vaughx Booker. And I assume, you saw the report and everyone else did. They called it a false narrative, accusing Booker of the agitator. How as mayor now do you respond to the other side of the story coming out?
Well, Joe, I don't think it's surprising that in what I expect will be criminal case and probably civil litigation too, eventually, that there's going to be some back and forth and disputing. I guess I would emphasize a couple things. One, we know, and I know, I saw the just awful racial epithets and physical attacks that happened near Lake Monroe. And those were a gut punch to me to see the video of that, of one of my residents going through that. So I know that happened there. The second thing I know, and maybe this is most important, is that racism is very real, that structural racism persists in my community and across our country, and that racism is real among us too. And that's kind of the key point, is to remind us all the work we have still to do to remedy structural racism that's present in our criminal justice system, in our education system, our healthcare system, our housing system and economic system, all that needing attention as we also continue to try to bring justice in individual instances.
Yo, what the? Yo, wait, they are not stopping. He is still on the car.